Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, I can't believe it, but it's been 60 years since the Star Trek franchise was born, 1968, September of 68, and we're going to be talking to the Mayor Pro Tem of Garland on why you might be boldly going to Garland. We'll explain next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
In September of 1966, the world was introduced to this very futuristic show called Star Trek, and it ran for 3 seasons. It was about to get canceled after season 2, but then this cult following started, and it is probably one of the most successful franchises of all time. To talk about that today, Chris Ott, he is the Mayor Pro Tem of Garland. Chris, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely, Jeff. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. And you said you were born in what year?
1968.
1968. So your first memories of Star Trek?
That would be when in Columbia, Missouri. My father was working for the university, and I think I was a young 5-year-old, and we had our 2 stations in Columbia. That's all that we could receive. And late at night, there were reruns of this unusual show that had an optimistic view of the future. That my parents, I wanted to watch The Twilight Zone, but they said that's probably not good for a 5-year-old. So I started watching Star Trek late at night, but they would have to wake me up out of bed, and I'd watch a show, and then I had to dutifully go right back to bed. But it was from that moment on, I was hooked.
Wow.
For that series.
All right, and you guys have a big event coming up. What date is it again? That's
going to be September the 12th. That's going to be to boldly go to Garland, and it's going to be, we're going to beam everybody in, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Outstanding. We found a great video. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Hi there, I'm Steve Jones with Garland Cultural Arts, and I'm right here on Star Trek Lane here in Garland, Texas. And I know what you're thinking, but I don't want you to ask. I am not AI. First of all, we want to thank you for the overwhelming response we've had for boldly going to Garland, celebrating 60 years of Star Trek. We are going to have a fun-filled day of celebration with all things Trek. Costume contest, trivia, special guests, and classic screenings. Our early bird tickets have sold out. Thank you. But we still do have discounted tickets available through July 31st at garlandarts.com. Full price tickets will go back on sale on August 1st. So grab your crew, come to Garland, and see all things Trek. Live long and prosper. Beam me up, Scotty.
Wow, and I can't believe that there's a Star Trek lane in Garland. I mean, how did that happen? Do you have any idea?
I do. It's 1977, and you had there was this continuous buildup in the U.S. for Star Trek. We had the space shuttle that was being constructed, and it went. There was a write-in campaign for that to be the first one to be called the Enterprise, and so the first test article was the Enterprise, and then they had you had Star Trek: The Motion Picture was coming up, and the 78, 79 realm. So in 77, Garland decided to be futuristic once again, and they had a one-block street called Star Trek Lane.
Wow. And there's a page off your website. Let's go ahead and put it on the screen so people can see this. What can people expect if they, and again, early bird seating is already sold out, but you still have room.
Yes, absolutely. We're about a third of our way into ticket sales, and this has been a big enough event to where we immediately knew that we needed to have more space. And so we decided to initiate, Starbase Central Library, which has community space over there where we're going to be doing Star Trek programming, which is everything from the simple things like books and movies that are going to be set out, but we're also going to be having interactive things like we're talking about having a tribble manufacturing and Klingon calligraphy and things of that nature. Also, there's a community space over there where we're planning to show blooper reels and fan films and memorabilia. But over at our Plaza Theater, which is part of our cultural arts district, the Plaza Theater is going to be showing some feature films. And one of those is going to be the 2009 J.J. Abrams reboot, something us Trekkies would call the Kelvin arc of things, that we will be showing that film. And that is because that is the one and only film that actually won an Academy Award.
Wow. That's incredible. And you said one of the stars that got that award is going to be there?
He's going to be there. We're going to have him he's coming all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're hoping he brings his Academy Award with him. So we're going to pick his brain on what it was like to do something as ambitious as what they did, because that was a monumental effort to take the material of Star Trek and reimagine it. And when that was occurring, people had they worried about, oh man, that's going to change the legacy of what Star Trek is, but it didn't. It helped to richen the tapestry of what Star Trek has been for so many generations.
And Chris, we were talking before the show that it was one of the first vibrant color TV shows.
Yes. Yeah, it was Desilu Productions, and that would be Lucille Ball, and that was at that time color television was not universal, but they wanted people that had a color television to see something that was bold, and it was a period of where they wanted to show optimism, because we're talking about the depths of the Cold War at that particular period. And if you look at the cast of what Star Trek was, you had people that were of a complete diverse nature, every ethnicity, every background. You had people with Scottish accents, people with Russian accents, and a deep Southerner that was Dr. McCoy, and so it was quite a thing to be able to convince the studio heads to actually greenlight this and to produce it.
All right, well, Chris, why do you think it wasn't wildly popular during its run?
Part of it was, I can tell you, for season 3, what killed it was that it got moved to Friday nights very late, and it was, and they just they had cut. They didn't increase the budget, and so that's basically a budget cut. And so they didn't have the dollars to be able to have compelling shows any longer. But the earlier runs of them, it was very unusual, because we're talking about a time where you had a lot of shows that were like you would have things like Bonanza and Gunsmoke and everything of that nature, and so this was so vastly different, and it was appealing to a younger audience that wasn't believed in as much at the time, but they believed in the long run.
Outstanding. We have about 2 minutes left, so I want you to look into the camera on the left and make that call to action for the person who doesn't have a ticket yet.
Well, this is the time. don't hesitate. You heard that that some of the earlier tickets are selling out, but August 1st, tickets will be $55, and go to Garland Arts, and that's you can find a link there, or you can always go to garlandtx.gov and find your way to the cultural arts section.
Outstanding. We're going to put the website up on the screen, and again, you can navigate to the Cultural Arts page off the website and get your tickets. Mayor Pro Tem, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.